Thanks, Gregor. Afternoon, Connor. Just starting out, what's it like to get Blake Wheeler back, and where will he make his biggest impact during the stretch run here?
It's awesome. We need our team at full, especially in this North Division. It's tough and it's a grind, and we need every single guy. And he adds depth to our lineup and a voice in our locker room. So he's going to be our confidence moving forward for sure.
We'll go next to Mitchell Clinton from Jets TV. Go ahead, Mitch.
Hi, Connor. Kind of a two-part question here, but first off, when you heard that Paul Stastny would be coming back to the team, what was your reaction? And two, as a goaltender, how much do you value just his ability in the defensive zone?
I was really excited because he's such a good fit for this team, and he got along so great right away. And he did such good things for us, especially in the playoff run. And, his value is, he's closing in on 1,000 games. So, he knows exactly what to do and when to do it and how to do it. So, I see improvements everywhere in our team defense, and he's a big part of it.
We'll go next to Kelly Moore from CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thank you, Gregor. Good afternoon, Connor. I remember when we spoke to you, I think it was either day one or day two at training camp, and the question was posed to you, how many games would you like to play? Well, with 11 to go, you're at 36. And with this unexpected bonus of this 4-day break, are you pretty much right on track to where you would envisioned that you would be in terms of your minutes played and that sort of thing at the outset?
Yes and no. I don't really think about that. You asked me that, and it's hard to imagine because obviously I want to play every single one, and then I try to give you a realistic answer. But I'm pretty pleased with the output that's gotten us here so far. We've gotten a good amount of points so far in this tough division, and we're in a playoff spot, and that's two of the things that all you can ask for, right? You give yourself a chance at a Stanley Cup, and moving forward here, we need to prepare for that the best way possible.
We'll go next to Joe Smith from The Athletic. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, Connor. I was curious from a goalie's perspective. There haven't been many guys who have won the Hart Trophy historically, and you had such a tremendous year last year. And there's guys like Vasilevsky this year and Fleury. Do you think goalies should get more consideration for the MVP in the league? I know you have a Vezina Trophy and the defenseman have Norris, but comparing values of a goalie who plays so much versus like a forward in the league.
Well, absolutely. It's tough because I feel a lot of that is statistical and looking at stats, and you can't compare goalie stats to a player stats. And you see players who put up all these points, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There's two ends of the game, and just because they're scoring doesn't mean they're stopping goals, And for goaltenders, everything's team based. Like how many goals did he save that year? Like stolen goals, and how many games did he win that probably shouldn't have? So there's more that goes into it, and I know it's tough because you can't watch every single guy every single night, but there definitely should be more of a focus on, okay, what did he bring to his team, and what did he bring to his team compared to the league around him?
We'll go next to Paul Edmonds from 680 CJOB Jets Radio. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, Connor, thanks a lot for taking the time. There's a theory that goaltenders that play in the same system for a number of years have a better idea of where the shots that his defense are going to give up. Does that theory kind of apply to you? Do you know generally where the shots are going to come from that you have to face?
I think, yes, that is definitely the case, because the more and more you get used to your team, you kind of adapt to them, and you kind of impose your ways on them. So you let your defense know what you're expecting or what you see out of like 2-on-1s and certain plays, and everyone knows what their job is. If you go to a new team, those might be slightly different, the way that they play things, the way they see the game. So I think it's more of growing together as a team. Every year is going to be slightly different. There's going to be different chances against and different ways of defensive zone, guys in certain areas or where they want to clean up from the year prior, So every year is going to be slightly different, but what doesn't change is the way that I and the defense in front of me and even the offense see the game. And our reads we start talking to each other about the reads that we're making, and we all understand our jobs.
We'll go next to Murat Atesh from The Athletic. Go ahead, Murat.
Hi, Connor. I wanted to follow up on Joe's question about the Hart, because I was one of a few people, I think other folks in Winnipeg may have as well, who voted for you for Hart last year on the idea of stolen goals, as a nerd like me sees it, goals saved above expectation, that kind of whole thing, right? And I'm wondering, do goalies get unfairly discredited? I don't think it's your fault you play an important position, is kind of my argument for that. What would your thoughts be too?
Yeah, in a way, yes. And I know you want to look at for those statistical outliers, right? So the guys are putting up 20 more points than everyone else, and that looks really pretty, right? But like I said, it doesn't tell the whole story, and I think goalies kind of get shoved under the mat sometimes because, I think last year I had a 9.22, and I don't think that led the league, but a 9.22 in my situation felt really good. So there's a lot more that tells a story, and we were in a playoff spot last year after our team completely changed, and goes back to that last question, and we were still learning what we expected out of each other with such a new team.
We'll go next to Scott Billick from The Sun. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Connor. I'm going to stay on the same topic. Do you believe goalies? A couple years ago, John Gibson led the league by a large margin in goals saved above expectation, but he wasn't even in the Hart or even in the Vezina consideration because the Ducks didn't make it to the playoffs that year. Do you think that when it comes to Hart or Vezina consideration for goaltenders, that playoffs or making the playoffs should play any role in that?
Yes and no. Yes, as in he was part of the success that got you in the playoffs, but no, because where would the team be without him playing that well? So for Anaheim, they were probably pretty close. I'm going to guess if he's having that good of a year, they're probably pretty close to a playoff spot. And where would they be without him? Probably nowhere near that. So it definitely is a factor, but a small one at that. There's a lot that goes into those decisions, and I know they're tough, but you do got to look at the whole picture.
And final question to Joe Smith from The Athletic. Go ahead, Joe.
For as a goalie, what's the most important stat to you? Do you have stats? There's a million analytics out there. Is there one that you kind of take more pride in versus the others? And if you watch Vasilevsky very much, what do you like about his game if you've seen him enough of him?
What goalie did you say?
Vasilevsky.
Yeah. Vasilevsky. Okay. One of the big stats is save percentage, and I know it changes based on building and who gets more shots and who doesn't, and systems and all that. But save percentage is for yourself. You can compare it on yourself because I've been on the same team for the last couple of years, so I can compare with myself based on where I want to be, where I'm going, and it's very easy to count, I guess. How many saves are you making? Very easy to count. And Vasilevsky just looks like he can do everything out there. It's definitely a guy I keep an eye on because I think he's one of the greats, and he's going to be one of the greats in the Hall of Fame hopefully one day. And I think their team is just solid too. So if you can be the Tampa Bay Lightning, you can do anything you can do to be that team, especially they just won a cup. So keeping your eye on all the good people in the league and seeing what they do best is not a bad way to get better,